Last week, a 72-year-old retired contractor walked into my shop with a question that stopped me cold. He said he had $20,000 and needed a truck that would not strand him on the side of the highway, would not hurt his back climbing into it, and would not nickel and dime him into the grave. What do I buy? I did not even hesitate. I gave him 3 names, the same 3 I am about to give you. These are not the pickups your dealer is pushing. These are not the trendy, overpriced Tacomas everyone fights over. I am talking about trucks that depreciated into bargain territory while their engines kept running past 300,000, 400,000, even 500,000 miles without breaking a sweat. Trucks that were practically designed for people over 60 who just want something that works. Let's count them down. Number 3, the Ford F-150 with the 5-liter Coyote V8, model years 2015 to 2020. I know what you are thinking. A Ford on a reliability list? Hear me out, because this specific combination of engine and truck is one of the best kept secrets in the used pickup market right now. And it is absurdly cheap for what you are getting. A couple of months ago, I had a retired teacher come in, 67 years old, who needed a truck for hauling mulch, pulling a small utility trailer to the lake house, and running errands around town. He had been looking at a 2019 Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport. The dealer wanted $29,000 for 74,000 miles. I pulled up a 2017 Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew with the 5-liter V8. It had 82,000 miles and was priced at $19,400. That is nearly $10,000 less for a full-size truck with more power, more interior room, a lower bed height, and a wider cab door opening that his arthritic knees would actually thank him for. He bought it. 8 months later, he has put 14,000 miles on it. Total repair cost, 0. Oil changes and a set of wiper blades. Here's why this specific F-150 works. The 5.0-liter Coyote V8 is naturally aspirated. No turbos, no intercoolers, no boost leaks, none of the complexity that makes the EcoBoost engines a gamble after 150,000 miles. The Coyote is a simple, port-injected and direct-injected V8 that Ford has been refining since 2011. It makes 395 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque in the later versions, and it does it without a single forced induction component that can fail. The transmission paired with it in the 2017 and later models is a 10-speed automatic that Ford co-developed with General Motors. It is the same basic architecture used in the Camaro ZL1 and the Chevrolet Silverado. It has been produced in the millions. Parts are everywhere, and any independent shop in the country can service it. Now the part that matters for seniors. In 2015, Ford switched the F-150 body to military-grade aluminum alloy. That shaved 700 pounds off the truck. What does that mean for you? Better fuel economy, yes, but more importantly, lighter doors that are easier to open and close. The Super Crew cab has rear doors that swing open to nearly 170 degrees. For someone with hip issues or limited mobility, that is a game changer compared to the narrow door openings on most mid-size trucks. The step in height on a 2-wheel drive F-150 is manageable for most people, and Ford offers factory running boards on many trims that bring that entry point down another 4 inches. If you find one with the optional power deployable running boards, even better. They extend automatically when you open the door, and they retract when you close it. Repair costs on the 5.0 Coyote F-150 are genuinely low. RepairPal puts the average annual maintenance at around $788 for the F-150 overall, but that number is dragged up by the EcoBoost models. Owners of the 5.0 consistently report lower costs. Brake pads all around cost about $350. Spark plugs at 100,000 miles are roughly $280 at an independent shop. There is no timing belt. The Coyote runs a timing chain designed to last the life of the engine. When you are shopping for one, here is what to check. First, look underneath for frame rust, especially if the truck came from the Midwest or Northeast. The aluminum body does not rust, but the steel frame still can. Second, check for a ticking noise on cold start. Some 5.0-liter Coyote engines develop a slight tick from the variable valve timing system. It is usually harmless, but if it is loud and persistent, have it inspected. Third, verify the transmission fluid has been serviced. Ford says it is a lifetime fluid, but every mechanic I know recommends changing it every 60,000 miles. If the seller can show you that service was done, you have found a well-maintained truck. Current used pricing for a 2017 F-150 XLT with the 5.0-liter engine and under 90,000 miles is running $18,000 to $23,000. Compare that to a comparable Tundra at $25,000 to $30,000 or a Tacoma at $27,000 plus for similar miles and equipment. You are getting more truck for thousands less. The F-150 depreciates faster than the Toyotas, not because it is worse, but because Ford sells over 750,000 of them every year. Supply kills resale value. That is your gain. Who should buy this truck? Any senior who wants a full-size pickup with a proven V8, easy entry, and the cheapest parts availability of any truck on the road. Ford F-150 parts are sold at every auto parts store in every town in America. That matters when you are 70 and do not want to wait 2 weeks for a part to ship from Japan. Who should skip it? If you want the absolute lowest fuel costs, the 5.0 gets around 15 miles per gallon in the city and 20 on the highway. That is fine for most people, but if you are driving 25,000 miles a year in retirement, you might want something more efficient. And if you want a smaller truck that is easier to park, this is a full size. At 210 inches long, it is not small. But if the F-150 is the value play nobody is talking about, this next truck is the one seniors are sleeping on completely. It was literally designed to be the easiest pickup truck to live with every single day. Number 2, the Honda Ridgeline, first generation from 2006 to 2014, and second generation from 2017 to 2024. Every time I recommend this truck, people look at me like I suggested they buy a minivan. And every single person who actually buys one calls me 6 months later to say it is the best vehicle they have ever owned, especially the ones over 60. Here is a real story. Last year, a retired couple came in, both in their early 70s. The husband had been driving a Ram 1500 for 12 years. He loved it, but his wife could not climb into it anymore without grabbing the oh my God handle with both hands and practically pulling herself up. They wanted a truck, not a SUV. He still needed to haul firewood, gardening supplies, and pull a small boat to the lake. I put them in a 2018 Honda Ridgeline RTL with 61,000 miles. The price was $23,500. His wife sat down in the passenger seat like she was sitting in a dining room chair. No climbing, no hoisting herself up. She looked at her husband and said they were buying this today. They did. Here is what makes the Ridgeline a borderline perfect truck for seniors. It is built on Honda's unibody platform, the same architecture as the Pilot. That means the ride quality is closer to a sedan than a traditional body on frame truck. No jarring over bumps, no wandering on the highway. For someone with a bad back or sensitive joints, this is the smoothest riding truck on the market, and it is not even close. The step in height on a Ridgeline is roughly 4 to 6 inches lower than a comparable F-150 or Tundra. That difference is everything when you are 68 with a replaced knee. The doors open wide, the seats are chair height, and the controls are simple and intuitive. Honda did not overload this truck with complicated tech. The infotainment in the second generation is straightforward, with physical buttons for climate and volume that you can actually find without looking. Under the hood, every Ridgeline uses Honda's 3.5-liter J-Series V6. This engine family has been in production since 1996. It has been used in the Accord, the Odyssey, the Pilot, and the MDX. It is one of the most proven V6 engines in automotive history. It produces 280 horsepower in the second generation and is paired with a 6-speed automatic in the first generation and a 9-speed in the second generation. Both transmissions have a solid track record when the fluid is changed on schedule. Honda's J-Series V6 uses a timing belt in the first generation, which needs replacement around 100,000 miles. Budget $800 to $1,000 for that service at an independent shop. In the second generation, from 2017 onward, it uses a timing chain. No replacement needed. The engine just runs. RepairPal gives the Ridgeline a reliability rating of 3.5 out of 5, which sounds average until you see the numbers. Average annual repair cost is $502. That is lower than the mid-size truck average of $548 and substantially lower than the all-vehicle average of $652. The probability of needing a major repair is about 25% over the first 10 years, which beats the industry average by nearly 5 percentage points. Now this gets interesting for budget shoppers. First-generation Ridgelines from 2006 to 2014 are astonishingly cheap right now. You can find clean examples with under 130,000 miles for $9,000 to $14,000. These are trucks with Honda reliability, all-wheel drive standard, a lockable in-bed trunk that no other truck offers, and a dual-action tailgate that swings down or opens to the side. For a retiree who needs a truck for Home Depot runs and pulling a small trailer, this is all the truck you will ever need at a price that will not dent your retirement savings. Second-generation models from 2017 to 2020 with 60,000 to 90,000 miles are going for $21,000 to $27,000. That is cheaper than a comparable Toyota Tacoma by $5,000 to $8,000. When you are inspecting a used Ridgeline, here is my checklist. First, check the VTM4 all-wheel drive system. Take it to an empty parking lot and make tight turns at low speed. Any grinding or binding means the rear differential needs attention. Second, on first-generation models from 2006 to 2008, check for rust on the rear subframe. Honda issued a recall on some early models for subframe corrosion. Make sure it has been addressed. Third, listen for a rattle from the exhaust heat shields on higher mileage examples. It is a $150 fix and a good negotiating point. Fourth, check the paint on the hood and roof of 2017 to 2019 models. Some owners reported clear coat peeling. Cosmetic, not mechanical, but worth noting. The Ridgeline will not win any towing contests. It is rated for 5,000 pounds. It will not crawl over boulders. It was not designed for that. It was designed for real life: groceries, lumber, kayaks, grandkids, and the occasional trip to the lake with a small boat. For a senior who wants a truck that drives like a car, costs almost nothing to maintain, and does not require a step ladder to get into, the Ridgeline is the answer nobody is giving you. Owners routinely report 200,000 to 300,000 miles of reliable service with nothing but scheduled maintenance. Now, if you like those two, this last one is going to blow your mind. This is the truck I recommend more than any other, the one that has literally been driven past 1 million miles, twice, by the same man. If you are serious about buying one truck and driving it for the rest of your life, this is the one. If this kind of honest, no-nonsense truck advice is something you want more of, subscribe. I have more videos coming on the pickups that actually last versus the ones dealers want you to finance. Number 1. The Toyota Tundra, second generation, from 2007 to 2021, with the 5.7-liter V8. I am going to tell you a story that sounds made up but is 100% documented. A man named Victor Shepard bought a 2007 Toyota Tundra with the 4.7-liter V8 and drove it as a hotshot delivery truck, hauling loads across the country. In 2016, that truck crossed 1 million miles. The engine was original. The sun visor detent on the driver's side was broken. That was the most significant problem on the entire truck. Toyota was so impressed, they bought the truck back for study and gave him a new one. He chose a 2014 Tundra SR5 with the 5.7-liter V8. By April 2025, that truck also crossed 1 million miles. Same owner, 2 Tundras, 2 million total miles. The 5.7-liter engine in the second truck was still original. The transmission needed replacing around 860,000 miles. Let that sink in. Transmission lasted 860,000 miles. That is not normal. That is engineering from another planet. And you can buy one of these trucks right now for the price of a used Camry. The 5.7-liter 3 URFE V8 in the second-generation Tundra is the engine that built Toyota's truck reputation in America. It makes 381 horsepower and 401 pound-feet of torque. It is naturally aspirated, no turbos, no superchargers, nothing to fail. It uses a timing chain, not a belt, so there is no scheduled replacement. It runs on regular unleaded. And Toyota actually X-rays every engine block during manufacturing to check for casting defects. That is the level of quality control we are talking about. The transmission is a 6-speed automatic from 2007 to 2021. It is a conventional torque converter unit, not a CVT, not a dual clutch. It shifts simply and predictably. It has been used across millions of Tundras, Sequoias, and Lexus LX570s. Parts are abundant and repairs, when they eventually happen, are straightforward. Now let me talk about why this truck works for seniors specifically. The CrewMax cab on the second-generation Tundra has a rear seat legroom measurement of 44.5 inches. That is more than some luxury sedans. The front seats are wide, supportive, and positioned at a height that most people can sit into without bending excessively. The limited and platinum trims from 2014 to 2021 came with power-adjustable seats, a power rear window, and available running boards that make entry significantly easier. The ride quality is surprisingly smooth for a full-size truck. Toyota tuned the suspension for highway comfort, not rock crawling. This thing was designed to eat interstate miles all day long at 75 miles per hour without fatiguing the driver. For a retiree driving to Florida every winter or hauling an RV across the country, the Tundra does that job better than almost anything else. Let me give you the real numbers. A 2016 Tundra SR5 Crewmax with the 5.7-liter engine and 90,000 miles is currently running from $22,000 to $27,000 on the used market. That is real money. But consider what you are getting. You are getting a truck with an engine that has been documented at 1 million miles. You are getting a transmission that was still working at 860,000 miles. You are getting Toyota's legendary parts availability and a nationwide dealer network. And you are getting a truck that averages under $500 per year in maintenance if you follow the schedule. If you go older, the deals get even better. A 2010 or 2012 Tundra with 120,000 to 150,000 miles can be found for $14,000 to $19,000. On these trucks, 150,000 miles is not high mileage. It is barely middle age. The engine is just getting broken in. Brake pads on a Tundra, all four wheels, cost about $340 at an independent shop. A transmission fluid change is around $200. Spark plugs at 120,000 miles are roughly $300. A water pump, if it ever fails, may be about $700. These are real numbers from real shops, and they are lower than what you would pay on a comparable Ram or Silverado with similar mileage. Here is my inspection checklist for the Tundra. First, check the lower ball joints. On trucks with more than 100,000 miles, these can wear. It is a $400 fix per side, but if they are bad, you can negotiate that off the price. Second, look at the exhaust manifold on the driver's side. Some 2007 to 2012 Tundras developed hairline cracks in the exhaust manifold that cause a ticking noise on cold start. It is not catastrophic, but replacement runs about $600 to $800. Third, check for the secondary air injection system. This emissions component can fail on models made before 2015 and throw a check engine light. The fix is about $1,200 at a dealer, but there are aftermarket solutions for around $400 that eliminate the issue entirely. Fourth, inspect the frame for rust, especially on trucks from northern states. Toyota actually ran a frame replacement program for some first-generation Tundras due to corrosion. The second generation improved significantly, but check anyway. Who should buy this truck? Anyone who wants to buy one truck and keep it for 15 to 20 years. This is the truck you buy when you are done playing the new car game. Anyone who drives long distances regularly, snowbirds, I'm looking at you. This truck was made for your lifestyle. Anyone who values simplicity. There is no turbo lag to diagnose. There is no hybrid battery to worry about. There is no start-stop system to annoy you at red lights in pre-2022 models. It is a V8, a transmission, and wheels. That is it. Who should avoid it? If fuel economy is your top priority, the 5.7-liter gets about 13 miles per gallon in the city and 18 miles per gallon on the highway. For a full-size V8 truck, that is normal. But if you are doing mostly city driving, it adds up. If you need the latest safety technology like adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist, you will need a 2018 or newer model, and those cost more. And if you want a smaller, easier-to-park truck, the Tundra is a big vehicle. It is not the choice for tight urban parking. Here is my final take. The Toyota Tundra with the 5.7-liter V8 is the most reliable pickup truck ever mass-produced in America. I am not being dramatic. It has the documentation to prove it. Two trucks were driven to 1 million miles each with original engines. Countless owners report 300,000 and 400,000 miles on forums with nothing but oil changes, brake pads, and tires. It depreciates more than the Tacoma because it is less trendy, and that depreciation is your opportunity to buy a 500,000-mile truck for the price of a used sedan. So there it is. 3 pickups the market is ignoring that belong in every senior's driveway. The Ford F-150 with the Coyote Vive 8, full-size truck capability with the cheapest parts on the planet, and easy cab entry that your joints will appreciate. The Honda Ridgeline, the truck that drives like a luxury car, costs nothing to maintain, and has the lowest step in height of any pickup ever made. And the Toyota Tundra with the 5.7-liter V8, the million-mile truck that you can buy right now for under $20,000 if you know where to look. You now know 3 trucks you can buy on a retirement budget that will outlast trucks twice their price. Next time a dealer tries to push you into a brand new lease on a truck you do not need, with payments you should not have, you will know better. If you want to see which trucks mechanics actually trust the most, the ones we buy for our own families, I did a full breakdown right here. That is 22 years of real shop experience, no sponsorships, no brand loyalty, just the truth. Like if this helped. Subscribe for more straight talk. Drive safe, take care of your truck, and it will take care of you. Take it or leave it. I will see you in the next one.